Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're streaming. I'm barely awake. I don't know why. I didn't sleep very well last night. But it's okay. We're streaming. We're making games. We are making a short Odyssey here. So, here we are looking across the island. We're gonna do a couple things today. Actually, I mean, I might switch what I'm doing halfway through the stream because there's two things I want to do. One of which I may delay on stream. I may delay until off stream. So one of the things I wanted to do was make some climbing challenges, because I feel like we just need more things to do. So climbing challenge like this one. So if I go down to the bottom, we can see there's a ouchie. Also, this one's kind of hard to do at night, so I might do something to address that. So I think that's what we'll do first. Because right now, at night, it's very hard to see things. So I think we're going to need to adjust the exposure. Because right now, there is a exposure thing, but this actually, we can't control those because it's being controlled by something else. So we will affect that, but right now we have our little, climbing thing, and we will, we'll go up here. So there's basically, it's like a little platforming thing. But we jump up, we grab. And I did fix some issues with specifically the grabbing. But yeah. So now he could face through walls before, but he can't do that before. So today is the Thursday stream. And normally on the Thursday stream we have a caffeinated beverage. Normally it's not necessarily international, but this time we do. I have coffee in a can. This is Mr. Brown's canned coffee from the nation of Taiwan. So we'll have some caffeine here, if I can open this fucking can. They have like, it's like recessed in the rim. It's hard to get my hand on this tab. There we go. I'll have my coffee in a can. Wow, that's really sweet. Okay. So let's fix the exposure at night. Because right now, it's kind of dark at night. Which makes sense, but I feel like we should adjust for that. So, how are we all doing, by the way? How are we all doing? There's a couple of you guys tuned in today. This is the Thursday stream, so it's obviously ideal for the European time zone. Early for me. I mean, 11 a.m. Canadian time, but I like to sleep in sometimes. Don't make fun of me. This is my only job. Okay, so I am trying to fix the exposure. Let's get some music on while I do that. It's just to make it brighter, you know? Make it a little bit brighter so we can see what the hell we're doing at nighttime. So, playlists. Music. You guys can let me know if the audio is a good level with the music. Okay, so, ignore all this thread pool stuff. I was doing that off stream. You'd be shocked at how difficult it is to make this thread pool work without having any race conditions. But that is life with multi-threaded programming. That's just how it happens. So, exposure. Actually, I feel like it's in GameWorld.cpp that we need to mess with this, because it's like a renderer parameter. Okay, so It's in update environment maps. So we have this update exposure flag here. So, basically, by default, it's gonna, if we're not in a specific cube map, we're gonna set the exposure to 1, which is default. That works fine at nighttime, but during the daytime basically each environment can set its own exposure factor. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do, exposure, I'm gonna do auto base exposure is equal to, okay, wait, there's some time of day manager? We need to get the time of day. So we need to get the time of day manager, so we need to get the wall clock. Oh. This is just some... Okay, because technically there could be multiple time of day managers, which doesn't really make sense, but, Oh, hello, Incentia, by the way. I don't know if I said hi to you. Welcome to the stream. That's fine, but, back to what we're setting to. So... world.getRegistry.view. Okay. This is some stupid thing that just searches for the time of day manager, but that's fine. So, wall clock is going to be, if I remember correctly, at noon, it's going to be 0. Is that right? Well, we can find out. So, time of day manager. Okay, the length of one day is... So I need to probably comment this. Okay, noon happens at 0.5. Sorry. So 0 is midnight. Let me just do a comment so I can remember what this is. 0 to 1, noon at... Okay. Let's just make that. Just a little comment for me to remember what the time of day actually means. Okay. So we'll set our base exposure to. So at noon, I want it to be 0.5. So, oh shit, I should use a. I'm gonna go to my everybody's favorite graphing calculator app here. One second, I'm gonna make this, whoopsies. Didn't mean to click, what did I do? I want my panel to auto hide here. Just so that I can, okay, cool. Just to give you guys a little bit more space to see what's going on. Okay, so, what was I doing? I want to, at sine x, so basically I want to create some function so that at time equals 0.5, it's 0. So, the period of a sine wave is 2 pi. So, x, what's x over pi? Will give me, okay, pi x. Okay. So that's 0 at 1, so it's 2 pi. That gives me 0 at... Ah, actually. X plus 0.5? 0.25. Okay. And then I scale this by +1. Okay, cool. So this is gonna... +2. So at t equals 0.5, our exposure will be 1. And then it will ramp up to 3. That seems... So the center, it's going to be centered at 2. I want it, let's say... Actually, I literally did this exact same thing with the tide. Okay. So it's basically going to be synced to how the tide works, I guess. So... Ah, the base height. Plus... okay, that makes sense. So the base height is actually the middle. So... 1... So if we do 2 times... I'm gonna make it range between 0 and 4, just to mess... Desmos, yeah, fantastic app. So I want the range to be 3 because I want it to go between... Oh, wait, no. It's got to be divided by 2, so 3 halves. Plus... 2.5? Cool. That's our function that we want. So... exposure. So our exposure is going to be, yeah. We're just going to copy the number. So 3 halves plus 2.5. So it's going to be 3 over 2. 2.5. So, that's the base exposure. So our current exposure... Okay, it finds the amount. Aha, so this is not what I want. This sets the exposure factor. But what I actually want is I want to do current exposure equals to base exposure times exposure factor. I think that's what I want. And so... Oh, wait, no. So new... What are we doing with current exposure here? Oh, I see. I see. Ah, okay, so... What we actually want to do is we want to mix the exposure factor. So that's actually fine. So the new exposure... So the thing we actually set in here is base exposure times this. That's fine, okay. Okay, so now if we run this, exactly. Basically, we're compensating for how dark it is, if that makes sense. So if we go back to our Desmos thing here, 0.5 is noon, and this is midnight here, right? Midnight is right here, and midnight is also here, I guess, because it's cyclic. So at 0.5, we don't need, it's bright out, so we need less exposure, if that makes sense. So this is going to allow us to see at nighttime a little bit better. Now, at some point, I could probably do auto exposure, but like reading back the depth, reading back the frame and like seeing what the brightest parts are. Yeah. It's how much extra exposure we have, right? It's like a camera. It's like if you increase, it's like the iris in a camera, kind of. You know what I mean? So like if you have a big wide open iris, you let in lots of light. It doesn't affect how much light is coming from the sun. This is like an extra exposure in the camera. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's like, okay, so it's like, actually, I can show you right here. If I go to my, my webcam, there's like I can adjust the exposure like that. I didn't turn on any lights or anything, but I'm brighter, right? So that's exactly what this is, basically. Yeah, exactly. So, as you can see, because it's noon, nothing has changed. So let's go to our time of day manager. And let's speed up the time of day so we can see what happens. So I'm going to change this to 30 seconds. And now it's nighttime, but it's a little bit bright. It still looks like night because, like, you know, all the shadows and everything are different, but we can see a little bit better. So if we look at our exposure here, we can see it's like 3.6 or something like that. Just makes it a little bit easier to see at night is the hope. Because this was a complaint I saw in some playtests. Yeah, so now this is... Yeah, okay, so I'm going to set the time of day manager back to 24 minutes, which is a... Yeah, that's how that's time of day there. Whoopsies. Okay, so let's go back here. So anyway, this is the climbing challenge that I was talking about. Basically, you can see it's during the day now, but let's add some offset so we can get it to a certain specific nighttime. 500? Yeah. Okay, so this is 9 p.m. 9:20, I guess. And we can still see what we're doing, which is good. And the exposure is 3.6. Okay, so now we can see what we're doing at nighttime, which is good. So with that, I think we should make a climbing challenge. So, this stone butte is an example, but I think, oops, ow. The problem with this is it's, I have to go into Blender and make a different one of these every time we want to, make a challenge. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, let's make a modular rock set in Blender so we can build climbing challenges. Oopsies. Let's get that music back. So let's find Blender. And let's open the butte. What I call it stone? Yeah, so I'm just gonna do it in this same file here. Just so, okay, so I'm gonna switch to that. Basically, I want to make these, I'm gonna make modular pieces so I can stick onto things. So let's start with a add mesh cube. Okay, so I'm gonna do that shade smooth. Then I'm gonna add a bevel. Then I'm gonna add a weighted normal. What was the bevel radius here? That, whatever that is, just to match it. Okay, so now I'm gonna start by making just like a little slab here that we can stick into things, and I'm gonna cut the bottom out because we don't need that. I'm just gonna make UV unwrapping easier and cut the back out as well, because this is gonna be sort of stuck into things. Or actually, we'll leave the back on because I'm... Yeah, because the... Okay, yeah, we'll leave the back on. So, we're in edit mode here. I'm just gonna select this. Move GZ0. Oh, that move. I want to move it to 0. So there. That'll make that like pretty tall, I guess. Like there. And we'll make it a little bit wider. So this just looks... Oopsies. I'm gonna actually scale because I want to still have it be centered at the bottom there. Okay, so that's good. Now, obviously, this is just a square, but we want it to look like rough, like rocks. So we're gonna add some. I'm just gonna deform this a little bit. And then this is meant to be butted up against the wall. So I'm gonna remove some of these. Yeah, let's just let Blender figure out the triangulation for that because we don't need a lot of polygons there. That's just some extra. Also, actually, you know what? I'm gonna, instead of doing this by offset, I'm gonna do this by sorry, instead of doing this by angle, I'm going to do this by weight. So I'm going to specifically bevel these edges here. Okay, so. And these ones are going to be sharp. And keep sharp here. So. Basically, this only exists for in case there's any, like, to hide any kind of, like, accidental, like back faces, basically, in case we accidentally peer through here. It's just meant to cover it up so we don't see gaps, basically. So, let's continue subdividing this. Just to make it a little bit less smooth. So it's more like a rock. I'm also gonna just sort of splay that out a little bit. Okay, cool. Does that look rocky enough for us yet? Sure. Let's just add a little texture to that. Let's add our seams first. So, just basic. Also, we don't need that. Mark seam. And these two... Do these have to be seams? Let's just see what it looks like if we unwrap like that. Also, let's apply the same material that we had over there. You know what? That might look okay. How did we do it here? What are these guys like? Are there seams here? No, they're not. So that actually looks maybe like... Okay, so, but... Can we? What happens if we... Yeah, actually, let's just... And then, let's do a minimize stretch. I don't know, we're probably gonna see some like parallax mapping swimming. So I'm just gonna get a UV minimum stretch again. Let's just deal with that. And then I'm just gonna scale that up a bunch. We're probably still gonna get swimming, but whatever. Okay, so now I'm gonna make some smaller ones of these so we can like put them in as like things to grab onto, you know what I mean? And let's go back to this view. So Shift D. Go to edit mode here. Let's do that around the individual? No. 3D cursor. I need to set the 3D cursor. So let's pick this, Shift S. Cursor deselected. So now our cursor's over here. We can scale around that. So we are about 2 meters high. So anything we want to grab onto is going to be about a little bit over that, I think. And we're going to test this in a second in the game. And then I'm going to make this deeper. And then I'm going to fuck it up a bit. And we'll go back to bounding box center here. Make it a little bit round here. Also, maybe we don't need all those vertices. UV unwrap minimum stretch. And then, I'm wondering if this guy should also bevel. What does that look like? Let's make it a little bit sharper by pulling it out. Yeah. So if you've ever watched Madrigal streams, he does a lot of like editing rocks and shit like this. That's not meant to be I'm not making fun of him. It's a very valid thing to do. In fact, I'm obviously doing it right now. And then I'm also going to add a generate, triangulate, just to make sure that it doesn't get screwed up when we export the triangulation. So basically, this is going to get triangulated in Blender so that editing rocks is deceptively hard. It is. It's true. Okay, so we're gonna need a couple more of these. Just like some different shapes. So Shift D. So let's make like a longer one here. And let's remove that bevel. Kind of stretch it out like that. Even that out. Make the height a little bit different. Maybe add a rock that looks loose and will fall off if you climb it. Is that just mean, though? Is that, like, just too mean to the player? I don't know. Like, that is definitely an interesting... I mean, actually, I feel like there's probably something like that in Zelda or something. Probably some similar things. But yeah, we could have, like, a loose rock. Or, like, maybe, like, a thing that you can stand on, but only for, like, a second, and then it falls, you know what I mean? Like, if you stand on it, like, it sits around for a second, and then it starts shaking, and then it falls out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we could try to work on something like that. So I actually have a texture specifically for, like, something that looks broken. Right, so like the bombable, the things that you can bomb, right? Like those surfaces. So let's, minimum stretch. Okay, so, yeah, definitely. So I think some of that we can do just with like texture work. Also, I'm gonna do, object set. Our origin is messed up. I'm just gonna kind of recenter this so that it's at 0. The origin is 0 here. Cool. So, let's do sort of a sloped one now. Shifty. And then we'll start trying to build these out. Okay, so this is going to be at an angle now. Like, going up. You know what I'm saying? Just adding a couple different variations. And I wish is there a way to straighten in the 3D view? Because you can do it in UVs, but I wish I could just like straighten this line between these two vertices. Vertex. There's smooth, but I don't want to smooth. I want to straighten. Anyway, that's fine. We'll deal with that. Okay, so we kind of have a sloped one here. And let's just make that look a little bit different. Make it round or something. Actually, here's what I could do. I could select this and then scale Y0. No! Scale X0. Cool. So, now I'll take these guys. And I'm gonna need to... because this is like a modular set. What I need to do is I need to take... I'm actually gonna include this guy in the same set, so that it's all one mesh file, just to make it a little bit faster to load and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go back to here, I'm gonna just UV unwrap this guy. Then we're gonna select all these guys. UV average island scale. Huh? Alright. Okay, cool. And what does that look like with textures? More or less fine. We can tweak that later. So. Sculpting mode? Maybe. I feel like that's not exactly what I want, though. Because I want to actually be able to select the specific vertices, right? Vertices? Is there a difference? I don't know. I think technically it's vertices, but okay, so I'm going to create a new... I'm going to add a parent to these. This is just a thing that my engine reads so that it knows that this is a modular set. So I'm going to create this instance group, then I'm going to select all these guys. Vertexes. No, I know that one's wrong. I'm going to just parent all these to this instance group here. So, this guy. Oopsies. So now they're all parented to this. So I'm going to select all these guys. I'm going to export that. We already have the stone butte somewhere in... Oh, did we already get through the music? Yes, I'm still watching. Keep playing. We're on stream, okay? Anyway, so there we go. So where's my butte? Okay, wait, did I export that? Include, yep. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the game now, and we're gonna start laying those out. We can lay out some challenges here. So, let's run this. Oh, why? Oh, frig. Are we all right? Sorry, the stream doesn't like it when I run Blender and the game at the same time. Apparently my GPU isn't powerful enough to handle encoding while doing all that. So, let's get back to the game. We are still streaming okay, right? Let's check the... Yeah, YouTube says we're good. So, let's go here. I just need to quickly... Okay, so this is all screwed up here. Yeah, so... Problem. Basically, this guy... Because this is now modular, Let's just get rid of all that. So, I need to move this guy back up to here. It changed the offset, basically, so I need to just fix that. What's the, I can't open Blender right now. But, is that right? Yeah, there we go. I feel like maybe it needs to be moved out a tiny bit. No, it seems better. I don't know. Yeah, that seems right. Our climate should still work. No, actually, okay, so it needs to be touching that. So that's where it was. There's a reason many streamers have a separate machine for running the stream. Yeah, I know. I don't have GPU money to get a second machine with a GPU for encoding. So, unless you guys want to give me a donation, which you can do down below, there's a link to my Ko-Fi where you can give me a small donation, $2, $5, or $10, whatever you guys feel like, and you get a special role in Discord. Although I know in Sentia, you're already in that. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, the other thing is I wish I had AV1 encoding card. So I have a pretty old GPU. It's a 2060 Super. Actually, it says right here, if you can read the tiny text. I run a 2060 Super, which is a little bit old, but it still runs at high FPS for the game. But, unfortunately, not everything is as efficient as a short Odyssey is. So, anyway, that's fine. So, let's save that. We adjusted our things, so let's go here. Okay, so now I'm going to take... let's build a little climbing challenge over here by the waterfall. Let's say right along here. Right next to this. So I'm going to move this tree over a little bit. Like right by the water. So like here. Then I'm gonna create a... gonna go meshes. Gonna go to our stone butte here like we had before. Create our entity. One moment. So let's just... we need to select only the little bit that we want, which is this guy. Because there's a lot of other meshes in that file. So, I'm going to rotate this so that it's... so this looks kind of blocky on its own. But, and then I'm going to make this add a collider. Actually, you know what's interesting about this? I feel like we can create a convex hull on this guy, which is going to be, shit, we broke something. Interesting. I feel like we need to add a little... I was dereferencing something without checking if it was... yeah. I see. Do a little bit. And. Why are you lagging out? Sea lion, come on. Be faster than that. Okay. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, we just forgot to check if this is null before we did this. Okay, one more time. We find all sorts of crashes. You're referencing an old pointer. Come on. What was that thing? Yeah. Open your eyes, man. You're dereferencing a null pointer. I think that's what it was. All right, so we're just going to recompile that. Here we're checking for the null pointer. Yeah, it's 0 basically. But also, once again, like I don't know why you're using C. I don't know. I feel like we've been over this, but basically, my personal opinion is there's no reason to use C in 2026. I don't know, because C++ does all the same things, like literally all of it, and for no cost. Damn white background for the memes. Yeah, Code Cauldron. I am a diehard light mode user, so like I actually got a shocking number of comments on this about the fact that I use light mode. I'm a shitty artist, not a programmer. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to here. I mean, you seem to be doing okay at programming in Sentia. Alright, so I was gonna create a I was gonna create that mesh again. So let's find our guy, let's create that. So, we're gonna pick just the one we want, which is number 2. And wrote that. Okay, so I'm gonna see if we can get the convex hull shape to work, because I just take an artistic approach to programming is what I meant. I don't know, but C's so ugly. I don't know, that's my opinion. You can do whatever you want, but anyway, what was I doing? I was gonna add a collider. And then we're going to try to create a convex hull. So we're going to do custom. Ah, why are we doing this? Did I literally not just... Or this is a... I have to check every... Apparently there's another place where I don't check. Why am I doing this to myself? Okay. Let's just see if I dereference this guy without checking again. I need to do this as like a real big if statement. Put everything in there. But let's try that again. Which PC are you using? Like what is in my PC? It's not all that I mean it was reasonably powerful years ago. Basically, while that's compiling, let me put on some music. Actually, can I... This, I'm gonna do the I use Arch, by the way, thing. So, Neo Fetch? Or was it Fast Fetch? There we go. That's what PC I use. So we have a, whatchamacallit, 3900X, and a 2060 Super, and 32 gig of RAM. That's the PC, if that's what you're wondering. Personally, I don't think you should use PCs, which, like, I don't think you should be using a 5090 for a game dev, because you're gonna end up making a game that nobody can run if you do that. Like, also, I can't afford a 5090, unless you guys donate in the link down below. You get yourself a special role on that Discord. No. Okay, let's see. Are we? I really hope there's not another null pointer dereference here. Okay, so meshes. Yes, so the Butte, which is here. Create. Mesh. Just the one we want. Then we are going to Add component collider, and then, all right, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. No pointer D reference again. Did I get them all? Did I get them all? Yes, I did. Okay. Convex hull tools. I'm gonna generate a convex hull from this mesh here. Actually, I need to save that as climbing rock 0. Sorry, yeah, I'm gonna save that as climbing rock 0 instead. And then, so the reason I'm using a convex hull instead of just doing shapefront mesh, which would take less time, is because this is much more efficient. A convex hull is a much more efficient collider than a triangle mesh, basically. Okay, so let's move that guy out to where we want it to. Now, let's optimize. Yeah, just no. Actually, I liked it. Is that? I feel like that's not quite accurate enough. So let's do unoptimized. Or yeah, I feel like that's fine. I don't know. Maybe it's not accurate enough. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, so I'm gonna save this as climbing rock 0. Save prefab. Now we can, where's our prefab browser? Now we can spawn climbing rock 0 whenever we want. Yeah. So, I'm gonna duplicate this guy. I'm gonna remove the prefab. I'm gonna make climbing rock 1. And we're gonna make it using this other here, this tiny thing here. We're gonna do that climbing rock 1.pcs. We are going to save, and we're gonna gen convex hull from mesh. And now we have a smaller one. This one I think we can optimize. Yeah, that'll do, I think. And so basically, and we're going to save this prefab. Now we have climbing rock 1. Save. And we can kind of see that we can... Ah! We got a... What's the crash here? Well, at least we did save those, so... Okay, shape. Get shape. I bet you this is another null pointer thing. Is this guy a null pointer? You can't tell me. I don't know what you're... Out of range. Out of range. Ah! That's interesting. Okay. We didn't update our index cache here, apparently, when we... no matter. Well, when we reload that, we're getting a lot of crash. Like, the editor actually has a lot more crashes than the game, because, I don't know. The code is just worse, to be honest, because, you know, I spend less time on it. Why are you crashing here? Oh, maybe this is just a... Okay, I'll run that again. Uh-oh. Ugh. Did we corrupt this thing by crashing while we were saving something? So, I'm going to... yeah. You know, roll back, because we have a previous version of this file, so we're safe. Hey, Grubby, welcome. We're just crashing all the time because apparently my editor code is trash. Okay, so. If code is art, then my code is avant-garde. Code is art, and don't let anybody tell you it isn't. Okay, there we go. There's our little climbing rock there. So you can see how important SSAO is here right now. Because if I turn that off, it's very hard to see where the rock is. Just a little thing. So graphics do matter. Okay, so that's a little climbing thing. Let's get the other variations in. So let's duplicate this guy. Duplicate. And if we have another crash, we'll fix it. So Control D. That duplicates it. Then we're gonna make this this guy climbing rock 2. Shape climbing rock 2. Save. Oh well, we actually need to have it as a different. We'll save the prefab there. Then we'll change the mesh to use that. Then we will gen the convex hull. Okay, now we have that. We can put that. Ooh, okay. So there is an issue. I feel like the bottom. So I made the bottoms of all of these sort of empty, which is problematic because now I'm just noticing this now. You can see underneath. So I mean, what I could do is I could rotate this outward, but what I should do. So for now, let's do that. Nah, okay, so that's not gonna work. So the bottom actually needs to have a shape there. So we're gonna need to go back into Blender in a moment, but let's zero that transform here. Well, no, you can because you're climbing, right? So see. So if I go to so let's save that prefab. Free camera. Ah, why? Okay, so we're crashing again in that same spot. Okay, there's a problem here, clearly. We didn't. So get shape cache data. Bullet shape. It's out of range. So we never added this to the index cache. One second. Sorry, I'm just gonna debug this real quick. Basically, we're having a crash here that has to do with load shape. So we're not calling load. I see. So because we are. Okay, so we do gen optimize convex hull shape. So we do replace. So we save that. So we reset the shape cache, but we don't add new we don't refresh it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a so there's a reset shape cache. I'm gonna add another function which is refresh shape cache. So this is gonna add the new, or add to shape cache, let's say. And basically that's gonna call it's gonna call this basically. This is basically just... Hola, by the way. Hello. And you are only using Sea Lion. What do you mean, only? I don't know what else I would use. Yeah, I use Sea Lion. Yeah, so we gotta do that. Yeah, we're using Sea Lion. I don't know what else I would use. It's a fine IDE. I mean, I'm not a Vim guy. So yeah, we put that in. That should work. Okay, so. So here, instead of doing that, we're gonna call add to shape cache here. And then, because... Okay, so we replace collision shape and do shape changed. Okay, so we rebuild this. This should fix our crash in just a second. Okay, so refresh compound. Oh, no, this is a custom engine. We're not using Unreal Engine. Like, we write the code in Sea Lion, yeah. Like, or any IDE. You don't have to use Sea Lion. How do you make the character? Like, I use that's in Blender. That's in Blender. We were using Blender before on stream, so, like, we'll get back to that in just a moment. But, like, modeling we do in Blender. But, like, code is in Sea Lion, yeah. So, reset shape cache? Where do we call that? So only in here. So I think if we just call add to shape cache. Okay, let's try that. So that's going to remove it from the shape cache, that's going to add it.